Let's get back to this story now. The ANC Ekurhuleni region will soon have to reconvene its 8th conference. Comes after the Johannesburg High Court ruled that the party's constitution was not followed during the May 2022 elective Congress. In her ruling, Judge Denise Fisher set aside all the decisions as well as election results from the gathering. For more on this now, we are joined by the man directly implicated in this court judgment, the chairperson, rather shall I say the secretary of the ANC in the Gauteng province, TK Nciza. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, and how are you? And good evening to your viewers.
I'm very well, and thank you very much for your time. Quite a scathing judgment, if you look at it, particularly on your part, hitting at you directly that you did not adhere to your own party's constitution, according to the judge, in terms of how you oversaw the preparation for the conference. Then you were the regional secretary at the conference.
But I think, firstly, the Provincial Executive Committee is seized with the matter. Earlier on today, we were in a PEC, an urgent PEC, to receive the report from the senior counsel and our lawyers, so that we can take a decision on what to do as the Provincial Executive Committee. The ANC is an organization, and there's offices in the ANC. So I wouldn't want to speak much and dwell much about the judgment, because I should actually allow the PEC to express itself once it has done that, and we've taken a decision on how to deal with this matter. Because outside of what you are talking about, we need to make sure that even the judgment does not contravene even the ANC constitution itself, because that will have future implications for the organization. So where we are, we're just finalizing our assessment. We're calling another PC tomorrow. We're engaging with the national leadership.
Yeah. Because
these judgments, they get quoted or they get referred to in the future, and we don't want to see the organization being plunged into even a bigger crisis moving forward.
Yeah. But yourself at this point, do you still stand by your decision, particularly of excluding the 5 branches from participating in the conference?
We respect the courts of laws. The courts must be respected. I don't want to have, even then, because of my personal view, those were decisions that were taken by collective. Why am I affected as a person? It's another story for another day, because I was never even called to come and testify to any court of law. So I don't want to dwell on those issues. I'm saying as a witness. So I don't even want to talk to those things, the merits of the case, because we must allow the Provincial Executive Committee to express itself, allow the NEC to, or rather the Secretariat, as we'll be engaging with them, because like I say, judgments of such cases, they've got an implication not only to ANC Ekurhuleni conference, but to future conferences of the ANC. So they must be studied carefully so that they don't plunge the ANC into a crisis in the future. And they must never contravene the same constitution of the ANC. But where we are, look, like I say, we respect what the court is saying, and the police of the ANC will express itself, because regions serve on behalf of the province.
So, TK, when you look at the PEC that is meeting now, what are the key issues that they're discussing? Are they discussing whether or not the 8th conference is going to be reconvened, or are they discussing matters of whether or not this judgment should be challenged for clarity in the future and the future of conferences of the ANC?
I'm saying for now, we are carefully studying the whole judgment without being, being rushed, because if you take a decision to appeal, it's 30 days to do so. If you don't take that decision, because we also don't want to find things to an issue for a long of time, we're going to elections, want our structures to be ready. The PEC pronounce itself on what it needs to do and what we can is to rush decisions on the basis of there's a judgment in front of us. We don't carefully study them and understand the implications, including the National Executive Committee, or rather the Secretary is a full-time functionary of the ANC, so that we're able to make sure that whatever judgment that has been made by the courts are in line with the constitution of the ANC. That's what we are seized with currently, so that we don't have problems moving forward. But allow the PEC of the ANC to engage on this matter by tomorrow. I'm sure we would take a decision on what is it that we're going to do, but it will be an informed decision based on some of the things that are being raised in that judgment.
Here's an interesting question. I mean, you are the person cited in here, which one immediately says maybe there could be a conflict of interest. Are you going to be a part of that PEC in the decision-making process?
Like I said even earlier on, that it's like you're saying, you know, I don't have a right to have a view on the matter of the organization. The ANC is not TK. The ANC Ekurhuleni was never TK. It was the office at that particular time. The ANC secretary in the province was elected in a conference, and his name is TK. So it is the executive of the ANC that will take that decision, with ex-officials of regions and 35 more leaders of the ANC who are elected from that conference. Because, you know, it can't be that we must not have a view on the basis of the judgment. That's why we must wait. And I'm sure that that decision can be taken by the PEC. But I represent an office. I don't represent my jacket in the ANC.
Right. Members of the National Executive, at least one member has weighed in, or was asked earlier on, Mamnomvula Mukonyane, saying she doesn't believe that this particular outcome would have an impact on the provincial conference and that elective conference. What's your view?
But even the judgment itself does not speak about the provincial conference. You know, I mean, there's no way where they speak about the provincial conference, and there's nobody who has even spoke on the provincial conference. So from where we are just focusing on the judgment that we've received, and that judgment has to do with the regional conference, and that's what we're settling. From time to time, there's a chance takers, but our focus is what to assist with, and we'll focus on that and make sure that our region is functioning in the next few days.
ANC Gauteng Secretary, the TK Nciza. Appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much for taking our call tonight and weighing in on the outcomes of that court judgment.